Ladies and gentlemen, hello, my name is Bastian. This is my expert instructor, Daniel Stravelli. He's been playing the piano his whole life, so I thought it'd be a good idea to get him in here and maybe show me how to play a little bit of blues. I've never played the piano before, so this is going to be pretty fun. I'll let Dan give you a little bit of an idea of what we're going to hear and hopefully what I can be able to play by the end of this. Alright, so here's my first try at it after hearing him. We'll give it a try.
Alright, so that was not, that was close, but that was not.
That's what I saw you doing.
Yeah, that was
so
not.
I gave it my best shot.
Alright, so when you look at the piano, there are, how many keys do you see? You see a whole bunch of keys, right?
Yeah.
There are 88 keys from the left side of the piano to the right side of the piano. We noticed that it looks like there's patterns between the keys. It looks like there's a group of 2 here and a group of 2 here. These look kind of similar, same with these groups of 3s. And if we take enough time to look at the actual keyboard, we notice that it's broken up into sets of 7 white keys with 5 black keys in between. 7 major pitches, A, B, C, D, E, F, and G.
And is that what you've illustrated here? Is that similar?
Yeah, as drawn in the image.
Got some keys there to help me visually see it. I'll have this in front of me. Help me as we go along.
So we'll note that these 2 keys are in fact the same, and they sound the same.
So are we going to be working within just one little scale on the piano?
Correct. So for this lesson, it makes the most sense to just work within one scale.
Okay, so it would kind of simplify it?
Yeah, of course. That being said, you have 7 notes in a scale, and for this lesson, we're going to focus on just the major scale.
Okay.
All right. So the major scale sounds like this.
So you're just going up and down?
Yeah. All right. So that's how it should sound. But a piano is not just about the way things sound, but also the way that you mechanically put them onto the piano and the way your fingers move. So when you play that scale, notice that you have 5 fingers. So put your fingers on the first 5 keys of the scale.
Okay.
And so what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to press your first 3 fingers, and then after you press the 3rd one, your thumb is going to jump to the 4th key and finish out the remaining 5. Very good.
So it's like an easier transition. It feels like a smoother transition. As before, I was just all over, like, kind of. All right.
Okay. Because there are 7 notes, we can say that we can look at specific elements that work together. So a blues melody typically consists of the first note of a major scale, the 4th note of a major scale, and the 5th note of a major scale. All right. So we note that in C, if we count up our fingers again, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It doesn't matter necessarily that this is a C or this is an F and a G, but we note that we need the 1st, the 4th, and the 5th.
Okay, which is my thumb. That makes it easier.
Okay, so we're gonna be looking at.
Okay.
So I've gone ahead and I've written a very basic blues pattern on this sheet for you. It basically says you'll have 4 counts of the 1st note, then you'll have 4 counts of the 4th note, and you go back to the root note, 4 counts of that.
Okay.
And then for the end you'll have 2, then 2, and then back to the root note for 4 counts. Okay? So let me give you a demonstration. You'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 2, 3.
So it should be.
Look here and just note that it doesn't go up to the 5th until the 2nd bar. So we go from the beginning up to the 4th,
Okay.
and then we go back down to the root note. then after we go back down, we go up to the 5th note, and we work our way back down. Exactly.
So 1 4 1 5
4 1.
4 1. Okay.
So we note here that we have 4 counts of C. So we're going to play it 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we go to F for 4 counts. 1.
Is that 5?
It's 4. 4, 2, 3. Back to C. Up to G for 2. Down to F. Back to the bottom.
Okay.
Yeah, now. Right. All right. And that would be the end. So then, if you want to start over, you do 4 more of C.
So 4 4 4 2 2. I got you. Okay.
Okay. Well, now how about you try it
That makes a lot more sense.
on your own?
All right, we'll try this. I'm gonna go solid first.
Yeah, that's cool.
Whoops.
So now a couple of things that you would need to work on at this point would just be, it seems like you're speeding up in the middle of it because you're just unsure, you're learning.
Mm-hmm.
So instead of, you don't want it to sound like.
Yeah. So I should make it actually sound like blues now that I have the notes.
Yeah, exactly. Now that you have the pattern, it needs to sound. You need to put music has a lot of emotion involved, and
Right.
you need to pour yourself into the piano and. Really
The G and the F. It
so
sounds bluesy going down, but like I'm still just like.
So I'm gonna just play like an elongated version with more chords, but I'm gonna maintain
Yeah,
the
you
same
play it,
structure.
maybe you'll help me.
So it's.
Okay, so I think I have the general pattern down, the general notes. We'll go simple first, 1 note at a time, and then we're going to try and work in 2. So this is what I know so far. Sounds better.
All right, so now that's the basics of the song. You have the general idea of how a blues riff might work. Now let's just make it sound a little more interesting. Add a little complexity to it. So we start on the root note first. And what we're going to do is when we play this note, we're going to just play a note that's 2 full steps ahead of it.
Okay.
So we're going to have groups of 2, and when you play every note, it's going to be a group of 2.
Okay.
Think you can find those?
Yeah, think. Let me see if I can do it. Nice. It sounds a little more full.
Along with me, I don't know how you want to do this.
Yeah, let's play it again. Let's play it again.
Alright,
I just
ready?
did. Yeah.
A 1, 2, a 1, 2, 3, 4.
That was a little more difficult. Going a little faster, but.
Yeah, but that sounded good. Slow it down, Benny.
Alright, let's do it. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Benny the Blues Bastian, and I'm going to show you a piece that I learned this afternoon. Hey, it's Ben again. Sorry for getting out of character there. Benny the Blues went off on a little rant. So I guess in conclusion, we'll start with how I felt intrinsically after my first attempt. I was feeling not so good about it. I definitely knew I needed some information and some teaching right away, which was good because I had a very skilled teacher who was good at giving me augmented feedback at the right times. I felt that he didn't overload me with anything, but he waited till I was comfortable with learning a specific skill until we moved on to the next skill that would kind of we put together and make into a little tune. So every time I got KR or KP, it definitely increased my learning curve. It helped me understand the next skill ahead, and ultimately, what I was ultimately learning at the end of my process was easier through my KR and KP by my instructor. So I kind of simplified it, broke it down into steps, and after I did it on my own and I could feel intrinsically that I was way off, my teacher kind of broke down the piano into scales. We went over scales 7 notes at a time and simplified it and broke it down so I could work on that just alone, so I didn't even have to look at the whole board. It was a little overwhelming at first. I got some knowledge of performance from my instructor after I played the scale, after I heard him, which made me intrinsically motivated because clearly you could see that I was feeling a smoother transition with the scale. The next thing was learning the pattern of the scale, which I did mess up at first. But then I got down the pattern of 1-4-1, 4-5-4-1, and that gave me more motivation to move on. I got some knowledge of performance on where to mechanically put my fingers. I was actually just using one finger for a while, and then he had me doing the thumb, the index, and the ring, and then, the thumb, the index, the middle, then the ring, and then the pinky, and that made it smoother for me. So that was some more knowledge of my performance. I was getting instant feedback when I was playing with my instructor because I could clearly hear that I was off or if I was on. When my instructor was telling me to put more emotion into the tune, that gave me more augmented feedback on how to actually perform the skill because I really hadn't had that before. I really didn't understand how it was supposed to be played. He gave me some knowledge of my results. Once I played it the first time, I was speeding up in the middle. I should have been more fluent throughout, so he made me more aware of that. I wasn't even thinking about it while I was doing it. Then I got another demonstration by my teacher, and then I gave a simple demonstration, adding a little more flavor to it. We added 2 notes in it, so I practiced that for a little while, and then I gave my final attempt.